there, happy Monday. Tonight we're working on the Granny Square quilt. Got a whole pile of blocks already done for it. So thank you guys for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. So thanks for joining me, everyone. We are working on the Granny Square quilt. It's from American Patchwork and Quilting, from allpeoplequilt.com is their website, and it's by Lissa Alexander. We are well on our way to making a whole pile of blocks. I think there's 36 total, and I think we're on 17, either 13 or 17. We're getting there, you guys. I think we're about halfway through, but they are looking fun. We got a whole pile of them. They're gonna look so pretty. So tonight we're just going to continue these. We will open up the craft box again, see where we're at, and do some cutting and do some sewing. So thank you guys again for joining me. Okay, you guys, so here we go. Here is the bin. All right, let's, hold on a sec. There we go. All right, you guys, so here we are. This is all of our blocks so far. I'm paging through. Oh, Jolene says, always look forward to the Granny Square weeks. Oh, Carol's got 14 blocks made. All right, let's just peek. How many do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I knew it was either 13 or 17. I'm happy it's 17. All right, let's set that aside. We have my bin here with everything available. And I have it, so here's the current thing that we're working on, so let's see what that is. Okay, it looks like we have a whole strip ready to go. Ooh, this one's really pretty. A lot of fun little guys in here. So we're ready to cut this. That's great. That's a great position to be in. And then we have all our little strip pieces. So, okay. And these I lay out above me here, and then they'll be in the order that I need to pull them later. We got our little square pieces. Okay, 21, 28, 35. We've cut all our strips to the different lengths, and now we can just grab them. And so as we sew, I'm going to pull new strips and use them as my leaders and enders while I sew. All right, so here is our piece here. Next step is we cut all these segments. So right now, you can see we have a segment of 6, and then a segment of 5. And we just sewed shorter and shorter strips on the piece, but we're making like these 7-inch segments. From 2 to all the way to 6, and that is what our granny squares are constructed out of. So we're at the point now that we're going to cut this. Ooh, and you guys, I have this I forgot I buried these already, but look, this is the new embroidery of the month, you guys. So there's 2 versions of it. Here is the basic version. The light's kind of funny, but here's the basic version, and it is chain stitched. For the most part, it's chain stitched. So this one's really cute, but then we also have the silk painted version, or the silk shading version. So here is this. It is with all those little itty bitty strands to make that kind of blended painted effect. Like we have the little, light green tips. It's all just supposed to be like painted and blended together. So on the third week of the month, I believe it's the 17th when we'll start stitching this, I'm going to show you guys how to stitch this little peach. This peach has the most colors in. There's actually 4 colors in the actual peach body here, and then the 2 different leaf colors and everything. So we will stitch this together. It takes a long time, so we'll go through the whole process of this. So if you've ever been interested in this thread painting technique, this silk shading technique, we are going to tackle that this month. So we're going to just make that one guy, and then if there's still time in the week, I think we're going to try and stitch up the whole thing in this faster basic version here. So we'll do like 2 different things. But what's so neat is that you can take the same pattern and have them look so different. And, it's just, that's kind of the fun part of embroidery, just the flexibility of what you can do with it. So that's the embroidery of the month. So we do have the bundles, and the bundles will come with it actually comes with 2 pieces of fabric, so you can try it on 2 different things. It also comes with 2 needles, because with the silk shading, it's actually helpful to have more than 1 needle. I know that sounds super scary, but you'll love it. It totally makes sense once you start going. And then it has all the floss colors that you need as well. There's also that stick and stitch sticker. I recommend using that if you're doing this version. I don't recommend using that stick and stitch sticker if you're going to do this one, but it does come with it, and we'll use it when we do this version. But yeah, so that is the plan for this month. I'm pretty excited about it. I learned a lot about silk shading along the way, and I had a really good time stitching it. Fun, you guys. And if you're nervous about it, you can do it. I'm confident after going through it, and I'm really thinking it through. I'm confident you can do it. And I will be here. You can ask questions as we stitch it. I am just trimming all of these out by hand. There's actually enough on either side that if I wiggle a little, it's okay, so I'm not even using a ruler. We didn't even press this yet. That'll happen next. But yeah, if it makes you nervous, I'll hold your hand through it for sure. And the instructions, you get the pattern as well with the bundle. So the pattern will be in your email after you order. There will be a download now button, so you get the pattern with the bundle as well, or you can get the pattern by itself, but they're the same pattern. It has detailed instructions with photos on how to do the process as well, but like I said, we are going to run through it all, from the beginning to the end of that little peach. After you get that peach, the rest will be easy. You can decide if you want to continue after that. It takes a while, so that's why we're just gonna do the one. But I'm really happy about it, and I know it's been requested before to do the thread painting or silk shading. That's the same thing. So I'm stoked, you guys. I think it's gonna be a fun challenge, and I promise you'll be able to do it. It's just little by little, step by step. Okay, let's get our pieces here. So again, we are pressing these in opposite directions, like the even ones we're pressing. What was it? I forget what it is again. I have my notes here. Even, we press away from the teal. Odd, we press towards the teal. I gotta look at that every single time. Even, press away. All right. Let's just give it a little press. Ooh, iron is hot today. Oh, thanks, Charla. Thanks, Rebecca. I think it's going to be really fun. It may look intimidating and scary, but I promise you'll be able to do it. It'll take practice, but it's going to take a while, so there'll be plenty of practice time along the way while we stitch it. And while I was working on it, I found out a few tricks that might help, a few things that you might come across as you're doing it, and then a few ways to fix those things. So I'm confident that we'll be able to work through it, you guys. Okay, 3, 4 is away. Oh, it's fun to be working on this project again. Feels like it's been a while. So this month will be more of a normal month again. I mean, we're starting right at the beginning of the month. We're not starting midweek. And we're back to our normal, we're back to our normal schedule again as well. So we'll be doing the Granny Square quilt, which is what we're doing now. We'll do that this week. We will have a Finish It Friday, and I'm not sure what we'll do for that yet. I haven't ordered the koala quilt label yet or designed it yet, so I can't sew that on yet. But we should work on that again too. And then the second week we will be working on the Splendid Sampler 2 again. We didn't do that last month. Then the third week of the month, we will be doing the Embroidery of the Month. And the last week, we will be back doing the Aurifil block of the month. It's going to feel back to normal again this week. That'll be kind of nice. Ooh, I like this 6 level one. I like all the blue. It feels extra blue compared to some of the other ones, even though I know our whole theme is this blue, but I don't know. This feels extra blue. Okay, next up, we are going to cut all of these. I feel like I'm missing one. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, guess not. Okay. Get our cutting mat out here again. All right, so we are going to do where we do that method of cutting where we're just going to stack all these all at once. Oh, that's true, Linda. So Linda's suggesting, how about more leader ender blocks? You know what? That would make me feel really good, actually, working on that. That feels like one of those projects that is kind of hanging out there. I know that project is sort of like a never-ending project, but my bin is full of leaders and enders that we've been sewing that need to be cut into the half square triangles. Oh gosh, this feels like it was pressed really bizarrely. So we could do that. That'd be that'd feel like some progress. Gosh, there really are so many projects that are outstanding yet. I don't know, maybe they're feeling like they're catching up to me again. That means it's time to just crank through them again. Actually, that means it's time to have some like Saturday stitch-alongs and stuff just to keep moving projects along. Alright, I'm not really doing this with any rhyme or reason. The only thing I am doing is I'm trying to cross the edge over a line because I'm going to snip that edge off so I have a nice square edge. And I am trying to align one of these lines at least along a horizontal just so I'm, not skewing it very much. Alright, let's trim it up. Oh, Amy is saying, I'd love to make an embroidery pincushion sometime. Ooh, that would be fun. That would be a great project for one of our little embroidery of the months, turning it into a pincushion. I've seen a lot of those. I've not actually made one myself, but that would be a great holiday present for someone, wouldn't it? Just like a cute little embroidered pincushion. And it's crazy, but it's kind of getting to be time to start, especially if you're making stuff, it's getting to be time to start thinking about that again. Isn't that something else? Time to think about your Christmas making and holiday making. Okay, 1.5. So now that I have that nice edge on one side, that's why I rotated it around so I can use it as my nice edge. I'm cutting all of these to 1.5. But look, all of a sudden we have, squares, rows of squares. It's not like these strips anymore. It's kind of magic. I just like this sewing in strips and cross-cutting it. It really feels like you're doing a magic trick. Okay, so I only need 4, and that's why I'm gonna have a lot of extra, and so that's why I was okay with just kind of sloppily cutting it before I even pressed it earlier, because that was fast for one, and I knew I was gonna have enough even if I slipped a little. Because look, I have all of this extra yet. This is my last cut here. Oh man, you guys, though, I saw another post on Facebook where someone had sliced their entire fingertip off, like through their nail. Their nail was completely in half all the way down here, in the hospital with it stitched up again. I'm telling you, get into the habit of, when you cut, take the safety off, and immediately before even putting it down, setting it down. And these gloves, from what it looked like, I'm sure they went like this and then cut across, right? Ugh. So I am making it the habit, and I think it's a true habit now. I've been doing it long enough to use one of these gloves. This is like those gloves that, on Amazon, it looks like they're holding like a chef knife in their palm and they're not getting cut. It's one of those, and I got these ones have rubber on the bottom, which helps with gripping on the ruler a lot. So I recommend, there's a lot that are sold without the rubber, but if you can find them with the rubber bottom, I do recommend those. But saw that again. Another person who did that. That's enough for me to, keep this up as a habit. I'm telling you, that's just no, thank you. Oh my gosh, Amy says she went to a retreat and it happened to 2 people. I think in groups you get distracted. See, that's the thing. Like, maybe I'm tired right now, more tired than I think I am or something. I mean, it could be anything. Or what if there's like a loud noise or something in the middle of cutting? Like, ugh. All sorts of things could happen. So, yep, it took a little while to get used to, and it's kind of awkward. It's like wearing a mask. How about that? It's like wearing a mask. It's uncomfortable, it's a little awkward, but you get used to it, and you're not going to cut your finger off. How about that? All right, so we got all our pieces chopped up. We need to add to it now. We're going to add one of our pinky pieces. This is going to be our center square, so I'm going to get that out right now. Oh, here is, let's look at it again. Someone's asking about the label. So I actually got these as a gift. So I don't know if they have the same thing here in the US, but if you just Google or go on Amazon or something and do hand protection, sometimes they're called kitchen work gloves or, no cut gloves or something. You'll find something. There's tons and tons of them, but in your search, make sure you write down a rubber grip. But here I'll just be really so you can see this. Oh, so yeah, so these are from Australia. So prochoice.com.au. I'm sure there's some sort of US version. But I do like these ones with a lot of the rubber. I do have another pair. I'll grab those too. Okay, so here's another pair. Oh, I thought I had a label on this one, but I guess not. So here's another pair. And again, they have the rubber grippies. These actually grip very nice. You can use these both of these for free motion quilting too. I've been wearing these ones just because they fit a whole lot better. These ones, I got the full floppity flop fingers on them which are super annoying. These fit so much better. I've had other versions of these too, and the fit has always been the biggest issue. So if I were to buy some of these, I would get them from Amazon and be prepared to like return them and get new ones until you find some that fit, because like I said, the fingers are ridiculously long on all of them except for this one that I'm using. Yep, hardware stores have them, Dee Dee's saying. Yeah, so they're like outside work gloves, they all pitch that whole thing though that it's knit with whatever that allows it so that if you cut, it's not gonna cut through the glove. That's like their big promotion. So yard work type gloves promote that sometime. Kitchen gloves, they're promoting it, but it'll whatever they do in the listing, it'll have something to do with that a knife won't go through it. And then on top of it, make sure the rubber bottom, because not all of them have that. Some of them just have a fabric all the way around, and which would work fine here, but man, to have that extra grip when you're doing working with the ruler, that's nice. Okay. I have a feeling that we might go a little long tonight because I'm yammering a lot and this does take some time. So, all right, I'm going to take out the 6-piecers. So the ones that have 6 in a row, we're going to use those later. And the red center we'll use later. So for now, I'm going to set those aside. Okay, let's line all of these up. We're doing the stair stepping now. So we want our outside color, whatever you chose as your main outside color. I'm doing that teal. That is what we want stair step. So we're lining up like the 1, the 2, the 3. The teal should stair step and everything else should be on that baseline. You don't want it this way, which I accidentally did the first time. I sewed it like this, but we want that teal stair stepping, or your outside color. And then we're going to just sew in a circle, basically. We're going to sew the first column of each, then the third column of each, and then just keep going around and around till we got these groupings done. And it's not till then that we're going to press them. But then we'll press them all and start sewing them even bigger. Oh, look at these. Let's switch this up. I don't want these 2 raccoons next to each other. Let's go like that. Yeah, let's bring this elephant. We're getting fussy now. There we go. Okay, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's do that and see how it goes. So to the machine. I'm curious if the machine is going to work well tonight. So if you remember, I had to wind a bobbin on Friday, and whenever I wind a bobbin, as of late it seems, it polishes the wheel that's connected to the motor. And if it's because I'm spinning it so fast for a period of time, and if it's too smooth, this wheel, then it doesn't grip and it doesn't move. And so let's see. I know I'm starting with a leader instead of my strip, but I just want to see if it's working. Oh, let's get our light on too. That's always nice. All right, come on, start gripping. Oh, good. All right, so I did take sandpaper to it tonight. So if you want to know kind of what I'm talking about, I'll show you here. So this is my 1938, I believe, Kenmore sewing machine, and it has this motor in the back. It's kind of cool because it doesn't have a belt like what you might be used to. So here's the motor, and here is the wheel, and this wheel goes and that moves my big wheel. So it moves like the actual wheel that you're used to on a sewing machine. But if this gets too smooth, then it just goes around and around and around and around and does not move the wheel. So I actually have to take sandpaper, and you can see it looks pretty roughed up. I have to like just dig in here and really, really rough it up. So if you have a machine like this and you got a new wheel, you got to do this beforehand too. It needs to be as rough as it can be to move this. It's kind of a poor design, really. I mean, it's kind of cool that I like that it doesn't have the belt, but the smooth on smooth, I mean, you'd think there'd be some sort of gripping mechanism or something. I don't know. But it seems to at least work a little bit better than it did last night, or on Friday, so crazy. Oh, that's true. Arloas says, I wonder if you could wind the bobbin on a different machine. I would have never thought of that. That's a great idea. It is a different bobbin than my other machines, but that probably doesn't matter. It does. So it's going kind of. I think we're gonna wake it up here, but oh gosh, it wasn't moving at all. I had to actually pull the motor tight against the other wheel, the big wheel, or pull it towards me so that that small wheel is as tight as it can go, because I'm putting pressure on it, as tight as it can go onto the big wheel. And that was the only way I could get any motion. But it seems to be working, so I'm telling you, sanding that down, even though it seems kind of crazy, sanding that rubber wheel down did the job. I do have a backup wheel because obviously if you're sanding that down and just from sewing a lot, it's going to get smaller and smaller. Like the rubber is going to wear away. So I do have a backup one. So I'm not without one, but you know, that I would have to sand down too. I think I'm going to just snip these off one at a time as I go. So I don't remember what order I went in though. So these are not going to stay in the same order that I just did, but oh well. We'll just pick ones that look cute next to each other. All right, here's where I am going to nest the seams together. So we pressed them in opposite directions, remember? So if I bump these against each other, those folds right there should just nest, like they should touch just like that. And if we do that, I'm going to just hold them there. Then our seam should be perfectly straight and match up when we're done. Ooh, I moved a little bit there. Oh, I'm so happy the machine is working. I did a quick sanding down and that did the trick. Pamela says I always wind 2 or 3 at a time. That'd be smart. I think I only have the one bobbin for this machine. I actually do think I have a couple other ones around, but I moved some stuff and now I don't know where everything is. So I'll have to find those again. Because that would be smart, because I'm using just really neutral colors. So even if my bobbin and top thread is different, they'll be close enough. So I should just wind a whole pile of them. Boop. Alright. So if you did order a bundle from me, we're making them this week and they will go out later this week as well. So starting tomorrow, they'll be going out. But yeah, so you should have them soon. And if you did order the bundle, you already have the pattern. So the pattern will be in your email right now in the order receipt. So you can check that for your embroidery pattern. Embroidery of the month pattern. See, there we go. That is perfectly in line. Exactly perfectly in line. And that's from nesting those seams together. Let's do another one. So now we have two that we're going to nest together. Oh, Elna, hello from Tuscaloosa. My husband, he works in the film industry, and he did film titles for a movie recently called Tuscaloosa. He does like the opening credits of films that have the title in and stuff that, you know, are sometimes like really fun, and when the type comes on and all that, he does that stuff. And yeah, just did one for the movie Tuscaloosa. Not sure if that's out anywhere yet though. Oh, Colleen, yes, I saw that. I will, I brought that home. I'll get that done. Getting there. So eventually, you see how I'm sewing one right after the other? That's called chain piecing. You're just sewing one piece next to another one until you have like a big long chain of pieces. So it's a great way to sew so you don't have all these strings of thread everywhere and you don't have to take it off the machine every single time. We are eventually going to have to take these off the machine, though. So instead of starting a new piece at that time, we are going to sew strips together for our next block that we'll do. So when we get down to the row 5 here, column 5, we are going to have to take that off to press these, and I will sew our first strips together for the next block. So we're kind of doing 2 blocks at once. So I'm just trying to nest these next seams together. Linda, he's doing well. He went for a jog today and everything, and he thanks you guys for the nice birthday wishes. I think he had a nice birthday. Diane, I am sewing on a 1938 Kenmore sewing machine with a crinkle finish. So this black that's kind of, well, it's called a crinkle, or the brand calls it a crinkle finish. It's kind of matte, but it's got like this pressed texture into it. That's what it is. An old Kenmore, which happens to be what my other machines are. So it seems like I may have, I may be a vintage Kenmore collector at this point, on accident, I suppose. I actually do, I have John's great-grandmother's Singer sewing machine. That is a Singer 99. It's this size. It's one of those neat black ones, like those traditional antique-looking sewing machines. I have one of those, and now Well, I presently have my grandma's 60s Kenmore. I think we thought it was from the 60s. I'm going to have to, not Kenmore, Singer. But I just have that until I get it fixed, which has not happened yet. Then I got to return it back to Mom and Dad. But presently, I am a Singer collector as well. Alright, 2 more. I'm going to just cut them both out right now. Look at this guy here. And then we will grab our first 2 strips that we'll sew. One more. Thought I was done. I'm not. Oh, Gretchen, that's great. That's great. I will be able to send John. I mean, John knows everyone in the community, so if she's looking for someone in the Twin Cities, he'll be able to recommend someone. Alright, so we gotta get this off the machine, but instead of just pulling this off and cutting it, we're gonna chain piece a strip to it. So here's our outside strip, and then we need our other like fun colorful strip. So this is where I close my eyes and we just pick something. This is where the randomness happens. We've already pre-picked our colors and fabrics that we want and cut strips, but now now I'm closing my eyes like they're literally closed, and I'm just trying to separate something. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, we got this guy. Cool. All right, so those 2 are the first 2 strips of the next block. So these first 2 are the same length. Every subsequent one will be 7 inches shorter, and we're just going to sew the shorter ones on. Eventually we'll have our goofy stair-stepped strips that we cut down again. I'm really concentrating on my 1/4 inch or my scant 1/4 inch seam allowance here. It's just like a frizzle over the edge is the measurement. And I'm really trying to pay attention to it. So hopefully my next block comes out all matching and nice. Lining up. Just kind of realigning as I go. It's kind of fun just sewing these long strips together. So it's pretty frizzled because they've been in the bags and I've been like sticking my hands in and moving them around, but I think we're going to be just fine. Okay, And we're just going to let this sit on the machine until we're ready to sew our next thing. Oh, here's this. Oh, shoot. This guy came off again. Remember, this came off before, but I forgot what it was for. I think it's just... It was for something really basic, but I forget now, and it came off again. Oh well, we'll just set that right there. Okay, let's snip away. We're gonna, like I said, we'll leave that strip on for later, but now we have our little stair-stepped pieces. Let's take a look at those. We'll need to press those. Let's get the mat out again, and let's trim them up. Soon we'll get kind of our first glimpse of what these are all going to look like together. All right. So I'm going to press them. So here they are. Cute. I'm going to press them away, press the seam allowance away from our stack of 5 here. So I'm going to press them all like that. Sue, I can't wait to see this quilt when it's done either. And I know a couple of you have this done, like have the top done, and they look so amazing. So share your progress over in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, or share whatever you're working on over there. I'd love to see whatever you're working on. But man, it's so impressive that some of you guys have this done already, at least the top, and are they ever freaking gorgeous. So it just makes me super excited. I want to get this as far as those are too. We've been doing, when we work on this, we get one of these blocks done a night. I do go over a little bit, so every day this week we'll probably go over just a hair, just because I don't want to leave it unfinished. So we might be, and I started a little late tonight. My phone was super dead. So I'm actually borrowing John's phone to do this tonight, so he was super duper nice. Usually he has a meeting this time of night, so it worked out perfect. Gretchen says she's doing another one in a different colorway. They're just so sweet and beautiful, and they're just, I don't know, there's something extra fun about these. I think it's the magic of the strips turning into these fully like checkerboarded pieces. It's just really neat. All right, we have our 4 quadrants done now, so we can place them around like so, and there we go. And now we can bring back, remember these pieces, we got our middle piece, and we have our 6 squared pieces, and so now we're putting the teal, again we're stair-stepping that, so that's going to be like the peak of all of these. Oh, that's right, and we have another color that's coming in now too. Fun! Let's, wow, there is a lot of raccoons in this. This is funny. All right, I just moved one because this turtle shell was kind of right next to this turtle shell. All right, so there we go. Here's kind of the first glimpse of our block. It's always such a surprise. I love it. So we actually have 9 pieces here. So this is row 1. This will be row 2, and this is row 3. We're going to do the same thing like how we sewed these. We're going to sew the first column of each together, and then we'll add the next column to each. Take it all off the machine again, and then we'll just have 3 rows that we have to sew together, and then we'll trim it and be done. All right, so we do have a whole pile of edges to match up this time, but we're just going to do it. I'm just going to fold it over. We'll do our starting and stopping to line up the next edge, but we'll get there. And when we take it off the machine again, we will be adding a strip to this strip on the machine now. Okay, I'm in that first nested seam, so let's do the next. my needle, maybe it's just my head playing with me, but it sounds like it's getting a little kerchunky. And like you can hear it stab through the fabric. And you always hear that sound, but like just from sewing on this machine a lot, I feel like it's doing it a little bit more. And we just changed the bobbin, so sometimes that means we're going to run out of bobbin soon, I think. And so I know it's not that. I suspect I need to change the needle. I bet you it's getting dull. So when we're done with this block tonight, I'll change out the needle. I'm sure it's time. We've sewn on it a lot, and I don't remember the last time I changed this needle, which is bad. I'm trying to get in the habit of changing it more often. It also probably means that I haven't oiled or cleaned this in a while either. So I might have to do a little bit of that. Oh, yep, Arloa is saying probably a new needle. Yep, I'm thinking that might be the thing. Sally's saying every one of these blocks is the new favorite. I know, it really is fun, and it really is a surprise each time. Ooh, I'm trying to match these together, but man, sometimes some are just way bigger than the others, which I don't know. I don't know why that is. It's the way I'm pressing them, or I'm not sewing the seams together with that perfect seam allowance from the get-go, but some I'm kind of forcing more than I should have to. And I'm getting like little puckers in some, but as a quilt overall, you're not gonna see any of that, but it's just a signal of like, oh, there's something I need to work on yet here. I suspect it has to do with my seam allowance, like how well I'm sewing my seam allowance, but so see, here's some that aren't matching up perfectly. I know if I flip it actually the other way, it'll probably be easier to nest the seams, but I don't know. We're gonna just keep going how we've been going. All right, so here's we're on the third column, the last column, so this is going to finish off this row. Ooh, I can just tell that some pieces are really a whole lot bigger than others, though. Like, look at right here. This, if I line up these lines here, look how much bigger this blue piece is, this elephant piece is, then. This should line up perfectly with this line, and it's clearly not. Like, I gotta go like this to line it up. So we're gonna have a pucker there if I try and do that. So I don't know. Actually, you know what? It's happened a lot with this, the handwriting, the Zahner Blazer paper. I wonder if that might be stretching a little bit different, or I'm doing something different with that particular piece, because I feel like it's happened with that piece before. Maybe I'm making stuff up. I don't know. Alright, let's try and... Yeah, this one's going to be off, but oh well. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's just clicking a little bit more on top when I sew. Like super subtly, but enough that it's like a subliminal message, you know? Alright, last one, and then we'll have to sew another strip on to get these off the machine. These are cute. Alright, flip that. See, I think technically it would sew better if I went in this direction. Let's try that. Wait a sec. Oh, I meant to do this the other direction, not this direction. Oh well. This will still work. Alright, time to sew another strip onto this guy, because we want to get these off of the machine. So I'm doing the next size down. And again, let's close our eyes. What do I got here? Okay, we got a cute little white piece with some tiny little animals on. Yeah, Pamela's saying it's funny how we tune in, we become, how in tune we become with our machines. Oh, yes, thanks, Rebecca, for reminding me. I hope you guys click the subscribe button on YouTube, and then if you click the little bell icon right next to it, then that is how you'll be notified. You'll get an email saying that when I'm live, which you'll want to do in case I do like an impromptu, Saturday sew along or something. So you'll want to get that bell going, and then also hit the like button and the follow button on Facebook. And obviously, I'd love you to join the Penguin and Fish Crafters group on Facebook. That's where we can all share what we're working on. And it's just, it's a nice supportive group, and we get to just be creative. Oh gosh, it's almost 9:30 already, you guys. Crazy! Well, like I said, I go a little over on these days, the Granny Square quilt days, because I just can't leave that unfinished block. So if we get 4 done this week, because if we do like a finish it Friday, we'll work on something else. But if we get 4 done this week, then we'll be at 21 finished blocks. That means we're getting there. We're getting to the point that we'll be done with our blocks eventually here in a couple months. And then we can work on sewing them together and doing the border. That'll be nice. I'm excited. All right, here's all our pieces. Let's press them and do our final sewing. So this last bit, it takes a little time because, we're matching up all those seams. And also, just sewing those strips on takes some time. So I'm going to press these where, these are the unpressed seams right here. I'm going to press them, I'm going to push them both outward like that. I'm going to do this with the other piece as well. I'm just kind of hovering on it for now. I don't want to press a ton because it's going to mess up all these seam allowances. I'm just trying to get them to lean in the right direction. And then I'll go to the front and really kind of try and get them. They're always so fun. I'm just happy with these colors, how they're turning out and stuff too. Okay, let's do the other one right away. Same deal here. Just kind of hovering over them again just to get them kind of going in the right direction. And press it out. Cute. All right, and then we still have our middle piece. So now this one we're going in the opposite direction. Instead of pressing these two outward, we're going to press them in. And you can see all these other pieces kind of go in. So I'm just going to go over what's done already there to the center. We'll do the other side. Flip it around and give it its final little press. Okay, let's take a look. All right, this is it. We have just these 3 rows now to sew together. And I am going to start with these two. We'll have to match up all of these seams. So this is where I think flipping this over here while it's still on the ground, on the table here, is going to be good. Because what I've done in the past a few times is I've started sewing like this. And then I get to about here and I'm like, wait, something feels weird. I actually go like this because I'm thinking the stair stepping. So I get to about here and realize I did this completely wrong. And then we get the seam ripper out. So if I line it up right away and then flip it, then I should just go where the seams are and be fine. So we're going to sew this, then sew another strip, and then sew the whole thing together, press, trim, and then we're done. So few more minutes here. I think probably another 10 minutes or so, maybe not that long. All right, so again, we're leaving those seams where they were, just kind of nesting them together. There we go, line up those edges. Okay, here's the first nested seam. So we're just going to take our time nesting all of these. Yeah, it's going chop, chop, chop through. It's a little bit more than what it should be. It means it's working hard to get through the fabric. It should just, if the needle's tight enough, pointy enough, it should, sharp enough, I guess would be the word. If it's sharp enough, it should just go right through. Now all of our seam allowances are going the other direction because we're on the other side of this. Okay, last little bit here. We're going to need our strips. Okay, let's snip, and the next one down is 1, 2, 3, 4, 21 inch. All right, I'm going to close my eyes again. Captured one. We got the Zahner Blazer paper again here. I feel like we've been getting that a lot lately. Although, I mean, our strips were getting lower. These bags are getting smaller. I think we may have extras in all of these, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get couple more blocks out of this. I don't know. Make a little pillow or something later. I probably won't actually make another one because I don't think I have to use these anywhere else, but I better not waste them just in case we did need it for more parts of the quilt. I don't think we do, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. Okay, let's snip this off. And you know what? I think I'm going to do that match up thing right here. So here's that long strip. Here's our bottom piece. And I want to match up that center with this center. Like, I don't want to offset it the wrong direction. So there we are. Now I should be lined up and ready. Last seam of the day. Actually, there's one more. We gotta take this off the machine when we're done, which means one more strip. Ooh, I didn't do that person very well. Oh well. Whew, working hard to line these up. We're going to have some puckers, I think. Oh, and I seam allowance went in the wrong direction. So it's not just a quick zip across. I am trying to line these up with each bit. Get in there. Okay, gotta sew one more strip on. Next up, ooh, dark blue. Well, this one will be interesting because we have all these super light colors, and then all of a sudden we got this feller, super dark. This one is hard to tell the right and wrong side, but this is the wrong side. And this is where we'll start tomorrow. We're actually not done with this strip yet, so we'll have to start the next grouping of strips to take this guy off and sew one more strip onto. Or maybe we'll stop in the middle so I can change the needle. Maybe this will actually be it so I can change the needle. Let's actually do that. I'm going to sew this off. We do still have the one more. I suppose I didn't need to really put the leader in there. But let's change the needle tomorrow. First thing. Then I'll sew the last strip onto here. All right, let's press this. We are getting there. Oh, Sue says that this is her first quilt. I'm looking forward to seeing how I do with it. Ah, so exciting. That's amazing. I'm excited to see it too. Be sure to share pics along the way too, and if you have any questions, let us all know. But yeah, if you you know, are doing this quilt, you'll be able to do any quilt after this. There's a lot of techniques in this one that will apply to a whole pile of other quilts. I mean, just all this practice in nesting seams together, that you'll do over and over and over again in other quilts. Maybe not as heavily as what we're doing here, but it's definitely a skill to have in the bag, I think. All right, you guys, there's just one thing left to do here, and that is cut it out. But here's the part that I kind of like. We've been working at it in this diamond this whole time, but if I go like this, that is actually the square there. You know, we've been looking at them in the square format, not the diamond, but I just feel it always looks so different when you just rotate it like that. I just think that's fun. All right, I am basically going to trim off the edges and we'll be done. So I'm going to grab my square ruler. All right, so let's... Oh, what is that ironing mat? So this is a wool ironing mat. I think I got the 18-inch by, I don't know, 12-inch or so one. So if you just like go on Amazon and do like wool pressing mat, I love it because I could just move it around wherever I need it to be. And I have such a small workspace here. Like this is literally my workspace. It's just nice that it's this small. I just really love it. It's about 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's 100% wool. But yeah, I'm not sure I have a link to it here, but it's, just look for a wool pressing mat. All right, I'm lining up the edge on where this kind of pointy fold is on all these, and I'm doing that on here and here. And in theory, my 9-inch line should also land on those. And if it doesn't, that means I've been a little off in my sewing. My seam allowances, again, I've been kind of testing that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I mean, it's a little off here, but it's a little off the other direction here. So I was sewing my seam allowance a little too much, or a little too wide in some places and a little too narrow in other places. But compared to how I think it was a little bit last time we did this, I think we're a little more on. So I'm going to trim these first two edges and then I'll rotate it around and get it to be our 9-inch square. Zoop. I like shimmying all these triangles away. So if you notice, I am turning it on and then cutting and then turning it off immediately. That is very much like my body just does it because I've made it a habit. Like, you don't want to just set... I've seen so many people do this. They finish their cut and they just set this down. But that blade is exposed. I mean, if you grab that, you're going to cut through your fingers, right? Close that puppy up right when you're done. Okay, so now we got our first two edges nice and square. Let's rotate that around. And now I'm going to go right, I'm not going to line it up here. I'm going to align right on my 9-inch line. Now that I know that I got this perfect square here, I can just go right on there. I mean, it should still land on those little folds, but now we're in exact territory here. Zoop. Okay, let's take a look at it. We'll add it to the stack. I like this guy. There's so many little animal fellers in there. It's fun. So here we go. We are at, that is our number 18. I mean, like, look how different they look. Ugh, they're all just so different. This has a dark border there. Ugh, they're all so fun. All right, that's 18, which means we have, oh, that's officially half, you guys. We have our 3 rows of 6. We need 6 rows of 6. So 18, we are at the halfway point of our blocks. That makes me feel good, but it also makes me feel like, oh wow, we still got quite a ways to go. But I'm stoked. This is gonna start looking just really cool once we get all these guys together. Awesome! All right, I'm gonna flip you around. Okay, you guys, so thank you for sticking with me again here tonight. Like I said, we go a little bit longer on these Granny Square block days. Oh, I didn't realize till just now how dark it is right in the middle there and how light the rest of it is. Oh, that's a fun one. They're all just so different. Cool! Awesome, you guys. Thanks again. And remember the new embroidery of the month? You actually get both of these designs, both of the versions of this design in the same pattern. So here, it's, you know, the type is reversed now, but here's the little Your Sweet, and this is the silk shaded version. And then we have that chain stitch version too, which is just super duper cute too. I'm excited to get going on those. Bundles are available in the shop now, and the pattern as well if you want to get going right away. And the bundle has the pattern in the instant pattern as well. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It was fun hanging out again, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Good night.